Today we're going to be looking at the passive voice. In an active sentence, we have a verb and the subject comes before the verb. The object comes after the verb. So the boy broke the window. This is subject, verb, object. Okay. If we have a subject, if we have a subject, verb, object sentence, then it can be changed to the passive voice. There are other sentence structures, and these cannot be changed to the passive voice. But as this is subject, verb, object, then it can be changed to the passive voice. For the passive, the object moves to the beginning of the sentence, the verb moves to the end of the sentence, and we have some form of the verb to be joining the two. In this case, to be, well, in all cases, to be has to agree with the new subject. So this is singular, there is one window, and it is third person. So it's not me, it's not you, it's some third thing, the window, which is not us. So singular, third person, past simple, broke, past simple, be, goes to was. We use the third form of the verb, broken. The boy broke the window was broken. We can add the agent, in this case the subject. The agent is the person who does the act, the thing. We can add the subject, the agent, at the end with the word by. Yeah. The window was broken by the boy. This is passive, and if we delete by the boy and leave the sentence as this is also the passive. Okay. So this form of the verb to be will change. The construction in the middle will change according to the tense of the active version of the sentence, which is the same as the tense of the passive form of the sentence, but will always have some form of the verb to be. And this will obviously, as in all sentences, this verb will agree with the subject, the new subject in the passive sentence. Okay, it's called the passive voice. So why do we use the passive voice? We use the passive voice because when the agent is not important, when we do not know who the agent is, or when the agent is obvious. So if the agent is not important, in the case of the boy broke the window was broken by the boy. If we want to repair the window and we care that the window is broken, and we're explaining to the person who we phone up and talk to that we want our window to be repaired, then we say, the window has been broken, or my window has been broken. We don't care in this case who broke the window. We're just talking to somebody and we want our window to be repaired. And it's irrelevant that the person who broke the window is irrelevant to the person we're speaking to, the person who is repairing the window. So the window was broken. I want it to be repaired. Okay. If the agent is more important than the act, then we'll put the agent first, and we use the active version of the sentence. And we'll say, we need to punish the boy because the boy broke the window, and if we don't punish the boy will break another window. Okay, so passive when the window is important, active when the boy is important. Okay, or when we don't know who the agent is. This house was built. Or when we don't know who the agent is. The treasure was buried in the 19th century. The treasure was buried in the 19th century, and now we have dug it up. It's a long time ago. We don't know who buried it, but we know that the treasure is underground because somebody buried it. Okay, we don't know who the agent is. The treasure was buried in the 19th century. Or if the agent is obvious, this house was built in 1966. This house was built in 1966 by builders. It's obvious that builders build houses. Okay, so we don't need to say builders built this house in 1966 because it's obviously going to be builders. Who built this house? Builders built this house. Yes, we know builders built this house. If the agent is important, okay, or isn't obvious, then we can use the active form of the sentence. So, my grandfather built this house in 1966. It's important because it's a family member and I know the family member. I know the person or the identity of the person who built the house. Okay. This is Percy. And this is a medal. Percy won this medal. Percy ran a race and he won the medal. This is the active form of the sentence. The organizers of the race award medals. We know it's going to be the organizers because who else is going to award the medals if it's not the organizers of the race? So we don't really want the sentence in the active form. In this case, we change it to the passive by using are as the form of the verb to be, which needs to agree with the plural of medals. Many medals, so to be in the present sense, third person, plural are. Medals are awarded. The past participle of the verb and to award is regular. Okay. It moves to the end of the sentence. The organizers disappear and the medals move to the beginning of the sentence. So the subject disappears. The subject disappears. The organizers of the race award moves to the end and becomes the past participle. And the form of the verb to be in the middle is are. Okay. And the medals, the original object, is the beginning of the sentence. Percy was hungry after he had his race, and so he decided to have some peanuts. The active form, Percy ate some peanuts. It's in past simple, and to eat is irregular. Eat, ate, eaten. Okay. The original object moves to the beginning of the sentence. The original object becomes a subject. The subject, as we see, is plural. Again, third person, as they will tend to be. Third person. Some peanuts. We need a form of the verb to be. It's in past simple. Form to be must be were because it's plural and it's past simple. Okay. 8, past participle, eaten. Okay. Some peanuts were eaten. Okay. Some peanuts were eaten by Percy. Okay. If we want to say who the agent is, then we can add it at the end, but we do not have to. This is the same in all tenses. We can add the agent at the end, but we do not have to. Often we will not want to. Percy ate some of the peanuts. Okay, so With present perfect, well, Percy got increasingly peckish, increasingly hungry, and now he has eaten all the peanuts. He has eaten all the peanuts. For the passive, the original object moves to the beginning of the sentence. All the peanuts. All the peanuts have been eaten. Stays the same. The third form of the verb. All the peanuts have been eaten. Peanuts plural. This needs to agree with the new subject. Peanuts plural have. If the peanut, if it was singular, the peanut, singular, then this have would change to has, okay, and this would stay the same. The peanut has been eaten, but it's not singular, it's plural, and so all the peanuts have been eaten. Okay, so this been is the form of the verb to be. That's how we make the passive voice in the present perfect. This pencil is already sharp. I have sharpened this pencil. I sharpened this pencil before the beginning of the class. Yeah, past perfect, had sharpened. Again, the third form of the verb, we're already using the third form of the verb. So this verb stays the same, sharpened. Again, this is the object of the original sentence. It becomes the subject of the passive sentence. Had sharpened stays the same, but the form of the verb to be is past perfect version of be, had been. Had been what? Had been sharpened. Okay, had been sharpened before the video, but we don't need to put before the video. I've written before the video to make it clear that past perfect is the right tense to use. Okay, the pencil had been sharpened. Okay, the past participle of the verb to sharpen. Okay, that's past perfect. Okay, after this video, I will eat a salad. Future with will. Okay, the subject is I in this case. The verb is eat, and the object is a salad. To form the passive, we do this. A salad will be eaten. Okay, so the eat, the verb, past participle of eat is eaten. Form to be, it will always be, okay, because will overrules any changes that we could make with the verb to be. So for the future with will, it will always be. A salad will be eaten. Okay, doesn't matter what number we have, what person we have, whether first, second, third person for the salad. Okay, for the subject of the sentence. May or may not be salad. Okay, a salad will be eaten. The active form of the sentence Percy will have learnt to use the passive by the end of this video. Okay. Future perfect is like the same form as the present perfect, have learnt, with will. Okay. So we move the original object, okay, the passive, okay, to the beginning of the passive, in this case, the phrase, the passive, to the beginning of the sentence. The passive will have been learnt by the end of this video. Okay. The passive will have been learnt by the end of this video. We've got this form of the verb to be. This have cannot change because of the will. Okay. The third form of the verb, which will be the same in the future perfect, or will be the same form as the verb in the active sentence. The passive will have been learned by the end of this video. If we have the agent mentioned, Percy, here, then we've got another by. Yeah, we got by Percy. Okay, because that doesn't change. If we want to include Percy, but he's less important, then we'll move him to the end of the sentence of the passive version of the sentence. So Percy will be very happy, and we'll be able to talk about things in the passive in the future. Percy is eating peanuts. For continuous tenses, I'm going to have the verb with ing after it, and we're going to have some kind of construction here with some form of to be already. In this case, Percy is, because Percy is singular. Okay, and it's in the present continuous. Again, still we move the object, the peanuts, here to the beginning of the sentence. Peanuts. Plural peanuts, so to be has to agree with the number. In this case, it's plural, so it's are. Okay, peanuts are being eaten. If we had singular, a peanut is being. The being stays the same. Okay, a peanut is being eaten. Peanuts are being eaten. Yeah, peanuts are being eaten. This being will always stay the same, but it is this that will change according to the number. We just look at the and with past continuous, was eating, were needs to agree with the peanuts, plural, and the being stays the same, and the past participle obviously stays the same because it's always the past participle. So an active sentence, subject plus verb plus object. Okay. In a passive sentence, the object moves to the beginning of the sentence, then we add some kind of form of the verb to be, and then we have the past participle or the third form of the verb at the end. Yeah. And then we can, if we want, add by the agent. Yeah. The agent being the original subject. Okay. This construction in the middle will change with be around be according to the tense. Yeah. And the tense of this varies according to the tense of the original. Okay, I hope that helps you with the passive voice and makes it a little bit clearer.